This is an awesome movie that was released in 2014. It has got a lot of mind-blowing twists and turns and special effects. But it is also one of those movies where it is just really hard to believe that this could actually happen. I do want to talk about some spoilers though. And if you haven't seen the movie yet, I would definitely recommend checking it out first before watching this video. There are 3 things that I wanted to talk about in this video. First is that the film itself had mixed reviews by critics, but overall fans seem to really love it. Second is that there is a character in the film who makes a decision that I thought was awful and then later they kind of undo that. And then third is something that happens at the very end of the movie. First, I think we should just take a second to acknowledge how amazing this movie looks. So when I say that Interstellar is hard to believe, what I mean is not only does it have these amazing space battles and wormholes and time travel stuff, but even the basic premise of the movie doesn't seem realistic. We have a pilot who becomes an astronaut and then travels through a wormhole and finds another planet that he can live on. But what if I told you that we already have discovered several planets that humans could potentially live on? And we haven't even left our own solar system yet. In our solar system alone, there are many planets that scientists think could have water and maybe even life on them. Like the moons of Jupiter and Saturn are potentially habitable. Some examples are Europa, Ganymede, Callisto, Titan, and Enceladus. These are just the ones that I can remember off the top of my head. And I'm sure there are some other moons of Jupiter and Saturn that could also be habitable. Also, there's this exoplanet called Proxima b that is in the habitable zone of its star. This means that it could have liquid water on the surface. But it also could not have any water at all, or it could have oceans everywhere. There's just so much that we don't know. The reason why I'm bringing up all of these exoplanets and moons is because in the movie, the main character has to leave his family behind because Earth is dying. We need somewhere else for humans to go. The problem is we don't have anywhere else to go. Sure, we might have better chances on some of these other moons or planets, but we aren't going to be able to move the entire human race over to another planet anytime soon. In fact, we might not ever be able to do that. And another thing that seems unrealistic is the technology that we see in the movie. They use a robot to scout out the different planets and then they use this giant space station to get their power. This space station was built by some really smart people and they use robots to help them build it. But building a space station like that will take hundreds or thousands of years. We won't be able to do it anytime soon. Now let's talk about the part of the movie that I thought was awful. So there's this one character named Romilly, played by David Oyelowo, and he stays on the Earth while Cooper goes into space to find a new home for humanity. But while Cooper is gone, Romilly decides to launch missiles at the robots on the other planets to destroy them. Now, I understand that he's scared and that he doesn't trust robots. He thinks that they're going to take over the world or something. But the problem is that destroying these robots will doom the human race. Like it's the worst possible decision that he could have made. The reason why I bring this up is because later in the movie, he gets to choose whether or not he wants to save the human race or let them die out. And it shows him having this vision of all the robots coming together and deciding to let humans live. I guess this is supposed to show that humans and robots can coexist peacefully, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Like earlier in the movie, he destroys all the robots and now later he is having this vision of how they can coexist peacefully. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems really dumb. But anyway, moving on from that, there's something else in the movie that seems a bit unbelievable. So at the end of the movie, Cooper gets out of the wormhole and suddenly he's in a field with his daughter. It's been years since he left Earth and now he's just magically back. And yeah, it just seems a bit too convenient. In fact, there's one scene right before this that really bothers me. So in this scene, Cooper is inside the wormhole and he's talking to Murph through the radio. He tells her to look up to the night sky and she sees that the stars form a pattern that helps her solve her equation. This equation is important because it helps humans understand how gravity works and it also helps them travel through space. It's basically the key to the future of humanity. Anyway, Cooper tells Murph that she needs to keep trying and that everything depends on it. But right after that, he gets sucked into the singularity and he disappears. And Murph is all alone. Now, I'm sorry, but that's just really stupid. Like here, he's telling her that everything depends on it. You gotta keep trying. Don't give up. And then he just disappears. What am I supposed to do now? That's just really terrible advice. Okay, last thing that seems unbelievable. So after Cooper gets out of the wormhole, he runs to his daughter and gives her a big hug. And then they both start crying. And I was like, okay, I get that. Like he hasn't seen his daughter in years and now he finally can. But then he starts crying again and I'm like, why are you crying now? You just saw your daughter after being apart for many years. You should be happy. But no, he tells her that she asks just a little girl now and he used to tuck her into bed when she was younger. And I thought, okay, I get that. Like you were just apart for many years and now you see each other again and you realize how much time has passed. Okay, that makes sense. But then he cries again and says that he won't be able to watch her grow up. And I'm like, dude, you're literally standing right next to her. You can watch her grow up. Just stop crying. So that's the end of the movie. I'm just gonna finish by saying that I love the movie. Even though there are parts that seem a bit unrealistic, it's still an amazing movie. If you haven't seen it yet, I would definitely check it out. So I'd love to hear what you think of the movie. If you haven't seen it yet, I'd love to hear what you think of the summary that I gave. And also, if you have any other movies that you want me to react to, please let me know. I'll put the link to this video in the description of this video so you can check it out. Alright, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.